Ever thought about an animal that uses the Earth's magnetic field like an internal compass to navigate for thousands of miles? Or picture a creature that can detect the invisible electrical halo of a fish, even when completely hidden under the sand. Like having X-ray vision for life energy. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Now, what if I told you that this same incredibly adapted animal, a master of its world for over 400 million years, is now facing a threat that could actually wipe it out? We're talking about sharks, and their story is both awe-inspiring and frankly deeply concerning. Sharks. Just the word itself conjures up images of these apex predators, the rulers of the seas. But if you look past the Hollywood hype and their often misunderstood reputation, you'll find a creature of incredible sophistication, packing an array of superpowers that would make any comic book hero totally jealous. These aren't creatures of mindless aggression. They are finely tuned evolutionary marvels like nature's perfect athletes. Today we're diving into the mind-bending sensory abilities of sharks' abilities that let them thrive in every single corner of our oceans. But we'll also uncover a sobering truth. Even these extraordinary natural gifts are struggling against a modern, human-made peril that's pushing many species towards the unthinkable. Let's kick things off with a sense you and I simply don't have. Electroreception. Imagine being able to see the world not just with light, but with electricity, almost like feeling the world's pulse. Sharks can do this! They have these remarkable organs called the ampullae of Lorenzini. You can actually see them as small pores, like tiny dark freckles, clustered around their snouts and heads. Inside these pores are jelly-filled canals that act like tiny electrical antennas, incredibly sensitive to electric fields. Just how sensitive? Well, sharks can detect electrical fields as faint as 5 billionths of a volt per square centimeter. To give you an idea, some scientists think a shark could pick up on the electrical difference if you connected two AA batteries 1,000 miles apart. That's like detecting a whisper from across a continent. Every living animal, fish included, generates a weak bioelectric field, like a faint hum of life, through muscle contractions, or even just its cells interacting with salt water. Sharks use their ampullae to tune into these tiny electrical signals. This lets them find prey that might be completely buried under the sand, totally invisible to the eye. Think of a hammerhead shark, its uniquely shaped head sweeping over the seafloor like some kind of biological treasure hunter, homing in on the faint electrical signature of a stingray hidden underneath. This sixth sense isn't just for hunting. It's also believed that sharks use the Earth's geomagnetic field, detected by their ampullae, to navigate huge oceanic distances during migrations with amazing accuracy. It's like a built-in GPS guided by the planet's own energy. When you think of shark senses, their incredible ability to smell blood probably springs to mind. And for very good reason. Sharks are often called swimming noses. And that's no exaggeration. Up to 2/3 of a shark's brain can actually be dedicated to olfaction, the sense of smell. Imagine your nose being your most dominant feature, guiding you through life. They possess an olfactory system that's legendary for its sensitivity. Water constantly flows into their nares or nostrils, which, by the way, aren't used for breathing like ours are, passing over a huge area of sensory cells. Picture an area packed with smell receptors the size of a welcome mat, all dedicated to picking up scents. These cells can detect tiny concentrations of chemicals in the water. The classic example is, of course, blood. Some sharks can detect 1 part blood in 1,000,000 parts water, or even get this 1 part per 10 billion parts water for certain fish extracts. That's like a single teaspoon of blood in an average-sized swimming pool. And they can follow these scent trails for miles, like a bloodhound on a mission. That unique head-weaving way they swim, it helps them figure out the direction of the source. Each nostril samples the water independently, like having stereo sound for smells, allowing them to compare the strength or arrival time of the scent in each. This lets the shark zero in on its target with pinpoint precision. This incredible sense of smell isn't just for finding dinner, it also helps them detect pheromones for mating, think of it as a chemical dating app, and identify potential predators. Pretty amazing, huh? So, electroreception and smell are probably their most famous superpowers. But sharks have a whole host of other adaptations that make them so formidable. Take their skin, for example. It isn't smooth like a dolphin's, it's covered in tiny tooth-like structures called dermal denticles. These denticles are made of the same stuff as teeth, essentially giving a shark a flexible, natural chainmail suit, a coat of armor. This skin-teeth layer offers protection from predators, parasites, and even injuries from rough surfaces or accidental bites from other sharks during a feeding frenzy. But these dermal denticles do more than just protect. Their specific shape and arrangement actually reduce drag and turbulence as the shark swims, much like the dimples on a golf ball help it fly farther. This means they can move through the water faster, more efficiently, and even more quietly. This hydrodynamic advantage has even inspired human designs, from competitive swimwear to special paints for boats. Then there's their vision. While people often think they rely mostly on smell and electroreception, many sharks have excellent eyesight, especially in low light. Like cats, they have a tapetum lucidum that's a reflective layer behind the retina that acts like built-in night vision goggles, boosting their vision in dim environments. Super handy for hunting in deep waters or at dawn and dusk. Their eyes are usually on the sides of their head, giving them an almost 360-degree panoramic view of what's around them. And we can't forget their hearing. Sharks have an acute sense of hearing, particularly tuned to low-frequency sounds, the kind of deep vibrations made by struggling or wounded prey, often from really far away. It's like they have subwoofers for ears. Their ears are internal, just two small pores behind their eyes. Add to this their lateral line, a system of fluid-filled canals running along their sides that detects water displacement and vibrations. This gives them a kind of touch at a distance for their surroundings, alerting them to nearby movements. It's like having a pressure map of their immediate world, feeling the subtlest shifts in the water. Even their skeleton is an adaptation. It's made of cartilage instead of bone, which is lighter and more flexible. Think of the difference between a steel rod and a sturdy rubber hose, helping with their agility and buoyancy. And to help them float, since they don't have a swim bladder like bony fish, which is like an internal balloon, sharks have a massive oil-filled liver. This liver can actually make up to 25% of their body weight, acting like a natural internal life vest. With such an incredible arsenal of sensory adaptations and physical prowess, honed over 450 million years of evolution, that's older than trees. You'd think sharks would be invincible. They're nature's ultimate survivors, perfectly equipped for their role as apex predators, the guardians keeping the delicate balance of marine ecosystems in check. They've outlasted dinosaurs and survived multiple mass extinction events that wiped out countless other species. You would think creatures this powerful, this adaptable, would be unshakable masters of their domain forever, right? But here's where the tragic paradox comes in. Despite their ancient lineage and their almost supernatural abilities, sharks are now facing a barrage of threats, a gauntlet of dangers they just didn't evolve to handle. And the source of this overwhelming pressure? Well, it's us. Human activity has, in a relatively tiny speck of time, become the single greatest danger to these magnificent creatures. The biggest reason shark populations are plummeting worldwide is overfishing. We're talking tens of millions of sharks killed every single year. Recent estimates suggest that global shark fishing mortality reached 76 to 80 million sharks per year. And when you factor in unidentified species, that number could soar as high as 101 million in just 1 year. That's like emptying a major city of its entire population, year after year. Many are targeted directly for their meat, fins, liver oil, and cartilage. The demand for shark fins, especially for shark fin soup, has fueled a brutal and incredibly wasteful practice called finning. Sharks are caught. Their fins are hacked off often while the shark is still alive, and then their bodies are just tossed back into the ocean to die a slow, agonizing death. It's horrifying. Beyond being targeted directly, countless more sharks die as bycatch, meaning they're unintentionally caught in nets and lines set for other fish, like tuna. Modern industrial fishing fleets, with their massive nets and long lines, can be like giant, unthinking bulldozers of the sea, just sweeping up everything in their path. Habitat loss and degradation are also huge problems. Coastal development, pollution, and the destruction of vital mangrove forests and estuaries, which are critical nursery areas for young sharks like the ocean's kindergartens, all add to their decline. These are supposed to be the safe havens where the next generation of sharks can grow, but they're increasingly being compromised. Chemical and plastic pollution further poison their homes, adding extra stresses that can make other threats even worse. What makes sharks particularly vulnerable to all these human-caused pressures is, ironically, their own biology. The very traits that made them evolutionary champions for millions of years now act as their Achilles heel. Unlike many bony fish that reproduce quickly and have tons of babies like insects laying thousands of eggs, most shark species are more like elephants of the sea. They are slow-growing, they mature late in life, and they produce relatively few offspring after long gestation periods. Some species might only have a few pups at a time. This slow reproductive rate means that when their populations get depleted, they recover incredibly slowly, if they recover at all. It's like trying to refill a bathtub with an eyedropper while the drain is wide open. They simply can't make babies fast enough to keep up with the intense fishing pressure they're under. The result is a silent crisis happening beneath the waves. Did you know that around 1/3 of all sharks raised in chimeras are at risk of disappearing? That's pretty alarming. Some studies show that global oceanic shark and ray populations have plummeted by a staggering 71% in just the last 50 years, all because of an 18-fold increase in fishing pressure. Species like the oceanic whitetip, which used to be one of the most common sharks in the open ocean, are now critically endangered. Hammerheads, thresher sharks, and so many others are facing a similar grim reality. The shark story is a stark reminder of our profound impact on this planet. These ancient mariners, with all their secret superpowers, are vital engineers of healthy ocean ecosystems. Their decline isn't just a tragedy for sharks, it's a massive red flashing light for the health of our oceans as a whole. But, and this is important, the story isn't over. There are dedicated scientists, conservationists, and organizations all over the world working like an emergency response team to put sustainable fishing practices in place, establish marine protected areas like national parks for the ocean, fight the illegal fin trade, and educate all of us. Supporting these efforts, making smart seafood choices like choosing fish that aren't caught in ways that harm sharks, and speaking up for stronger protections can really make a difference. Take some time to learn more about the organizations working to protect these incredible animals and see how you can pitch in. So it's clear that sharks are far more than the one-dimensional predators we often see portrayed. They are sophisticated, ancient beings with sensory capabilities that are honestly hard to wrap your head around. True masters of their environment, living masterpieces of evolution. Their electroreception, that incredible sense of smell, their specialized skin, and their